What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hot Stove Vidcast. I'm Luke here. I'm joined by Noah. He's a Phillies fan, and we're here to talk some baseball. So, Noah, you want to introduce yourself, say some things?
I'm Noah. Thanks for having me.
Now, we're going to recap this Philly series coming up against the Atlanta Braves, one of the biggest series so far this year. As we are talking right now, the Phillies are 5.5 games out of first place. So we have a really, really big series here with Aaron Nola on the mound going against a new pitcher for the Braves, Dallas Keuchel. He is 1-1 with a 5.06 ERA. How do you feel about Aaron Nola tonight?
I think if he locates his pitches, he'll be good.
Yeah, that's the key for him.
I don't really think the Braves are as good as people think.
True. They have a good offense, but yeah, they.
What did you say?
I think at the beginning of the year they just weren't really they weren't really clicking. They kind of are clicking now, but who knows if this thing will last for them? We don't really know. When I was there at the game against Miami, I think it was July 21st. He looked really, really good. Aaron Nola did. And his last outing against the New York Mets last Thursday, when we swept him out, he went 7 innings, struck out 10. He only allowed 1 hit through 7. He was really good. So hopefully we could get that out of him tonight. Like I said, we're going against Keuchel. Tomorrow night, we're going against Wilson for the Braves. He has an 8.31 ERA. He does not have a win or loss this year. Nick Pivetta is going to be on the mound for the Phillies. How do you feel about Nick Pivetta on the mound?
If his control's good, he's lights out.
Yeah, he's a very black and white pitcher. Either he's awesome or he's terrible. There's no in between for him. He's either horrendous or he's terrific. There's no in between. So his last outing, he kind of struggled against the Mets. So he got hit around a little bit. And then the finale game, Zach Eflin on the mound.
Who's pitching game 2 for the Braves?
It is Wilson. He does not have a win or a loss, but he has an 8.31 ERA. So I'm hoping that we could get some hits off of him. Then Zach Eflin will be on the mound for the Phillies. He's been by far our most consistent pitcher this year, but we seem to never score when he pitches. And then when we do score when he pitches, he usually does not pitch well. So he's 7-7 with 3.34 ERA. How do you feel about Zach Eflin?
I think he's been our best pitcher this year.
I'd say, yeah, I totally agree with that.
By far.
So it's consistent for sure. That is so true. And then the guy we are facing is Soroka. He is 9-1 with a 2.13 ERA. That's going to be tough to face a guy as good as him. So I'm hoping that we could figure him out. So how did you feel about this Miami Marlins series? How do you feel about this whole Miami? We had a hard time beating the Marlins. So how do you feel about this whole Miami Marlins thing?
I didn't watch the games. I only saw the highlights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the last game looked better than the first 2.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. We always seem to struggle whenever we play them. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I'd like to say it's a mental thing because I'm hoping that it's not, the
Marlins.
Yeah, hopefully. We just seem to never really play well when we're playing them. So let's talk about the season so far. How do you feel about the season? Do you think that we have done the job we needed to do?
I think we're in an okay spot.
I would agree with that.
I think 5 games out of first after replacing McCutchen with Bruce, which is a pretty good replacement.
Yeah. He didn't get on base obviously as much as McCutchen did, and he also isn't like that. He doesn't. Andrew McCutchen had a thing for the clubhouse, and he was able to wheel guys in and be that leader. And obviously Jay Bruce has been around for a while, but he's Andrew McCutchen. He's Andrew McCutchen. He's a leader.
Yeah.
The guy is he's a magnet in the clubhouse almost. He could wheel guys in. People respect him. And I think that's one thing that the Phillies team missed last year was that finding their identity. I think that Andrew McCutchen was a big part of this team's identity because he was just so big. I think that's why having a guy like Bryce Harper on this team really, really makes a big impact because he's kind of like the face of the team somewhat because he's just kind of has that fire and that passion to him that everyone likes, that swagger, the hair flip, everything. Do you agree with that?
I think the biggest difference from last year was we have so many more leaders now. Like established players, like guys who have done things, like Andrew McCutchen, MVP, Bryce Harper, MVP, JT Realmuto, best catcher in the league.
Good point.
Like, we have guys.
Yeah, last year we didn't really have that. I think the only thing we had last year was like Carlos Santana, but we all know he just didn't really seem to fit into our team. But other than he just didn't really seem to fit into our team.
He's good now.
Yeah, he's an all-star now. I forgot to mention that. Congrats to Carlos. Mm-hmm. He's starting the all-star game in his home. Obviously, he plays for the Indians, so he's going to be starting in front of his home fans. So, what do you make of Bryce Harper? Do you think that he is, underachieving? Do you think he's overrated?
No, I think he's fine.
I think he's fine. This is who the guy is. I've said this all. I mean, I'm sure you watched the video cast. I mean, this is who he is. He always seems to everyone goes through ups and downs, and his can be a little bit more extreme sometimes than others, but I think people need to give Harper a bit of a break. I mean, he's hitting .250 with an .839 OPS. He has 15 home runs. He has 15 RBIs. He's on track to have a career high in RBIs. He's on track to hit 30 home runs. If he could get his average up and have a good second half and around 260, 270, I'm still sticking with 30 to 35 home runs. I think he'll have above 35 home runs.
What's his on-base percentage?
His on-base percentage right now is, let me check. I should have that up. Is .368. So I think it's less than 100 points lower than his MVP year. I think in his MVP year he had a .460 OBP. So he's still getting on base a lot. He's on track to have over 100 walks this year. He has 55 right now. So he's walking a lot. So I've been 56 walks, by the way, not 55. That was my bad. He's having a very solid season. But obviously, I think people came here and expected him. I think he's having a solid season. Obviously, the average is.
I agree.
I don't think the average is pretty. I mean, it's 250. I mean, that's not. It's just okay. But I think in his MVP year, he hit 330. And in 2017, he hit like 329 or something like that. So he showed sprints of hitting for a high average. And then last year, he hit 249. He hit 220 in the first half. So it's just who the man is. I mean, that's Bryce Harper. And obviously, when he came up in the league, he was a lightning rod. I think people were putting him ahead of Mike Trout, believe it or not. Like when they first came up, it was Harper or Trout. Who's better? And I think now it's pretty clear who's the better player. It's Mike Trout. As much as we, love Harper, we have to admit that Trout's the better player.
Mike Trout might be the best player ever when he retires.
That is true. If he retired today, I think he'd be, on the verge of making the Hall of Fame. And that's how good he's been over the course of his career. He's on track to do some great things.
I think if he retires today, he's a Hall of Famer.
That is true. I totally am with you on that. JT Realmuto, he's going to the All-Star game. How do you feel about that?
I think he's been our best player this year because he's
one of them,
the best catcher in the league.
Yeah. I did not think we were.
If anyone deserves it, it's him.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Anyone goes, it's him. That is true. Realmuto, obviously we traded Jorge Alfaro, Sixto Sanchez, and Will Stewart to the Miami Marlins for JT Realmuto. Do you think this trade has worked out? I say it has.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think it has. He's been better defensively than Jorge, and he's just better. Like he's just playing better. And Jorge, like he's still trying to figure it out in Miami. I had nothing against Jorge Alfaro.
Yeah.
But I think obviously we'd rather have Realmuto.
When we were talking about Nola pitching first game this series, I was thinking, what if the relationship between him and JT Realmuto is the problem this year?
That is true. I've heard that before. I actually discussed that.
What if
I think he had a good chemistry, yeah.
But maybe it's just because they've only been together for
that's true.
6 months.
Yeah. I think he had a good chemistry with Jorge. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning, I think the pitchers obviously have a bond with the catchers. I mean, catchers are one calling the game. I think Andrew Knapp and Zach Eflin have a good bond. As much as we don't really care for Andrew Knapp. No comment.
We need a new backup catcher.
We do, man. Andrew Knapp's terrible. He's not the answer.
What's he hitting now? Like 156?
Let's see. I'm getting the stats up right now. He's hitting 156 with 1 home run. His career stats: 216, 8 home runs, 30 ribbies. He has a 533 OPS. Okay. Yeah, not the answer. So I think that I think we're underachieving, but I do not think it's been the worst season. I think people are a little bit, little overreacting a little bit. What do you make of Odubel Herrera? Obviously, he's been arrested. He's probably not going to play a game with the Phillies ever again. How do you feel about the whole entire situation?
He used to be one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
Saddens me that he possibly did that.
Yeah, man. I'm still a little bit shocked that he did that. He was kind of a head case a little bit, but I didn't think that he would do that. So obviously he's not going to play another game with the Phillies, I don't think. So let's talk about the impact of Jay Bruce and what he's had on this Phillies team.
I think it's the best replacement we could ask for McCutchen.
That is true. Yeah.
Like realistically.
Yeah, he's hit 7 home runs. He's done his job. So obviously he has not played all his games with the Phillies this year. Obviously he was from the Seattle Mariners, but he's hitting 231 with 21 home runs, 48 RBIs. He's on track to hit 40 home runs this year. That's decent for a guy who is 32 years old.
Yeah.
It feels like he's been around longer. It's surprising me he's only 32. It really does. He really does. He's been in the league since 2008 with the Reds. So
yeah, I remember him with the Reds. Him, Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips.
Yeah, that was the team back then. Before we get into trades, Homer Bailey, yeah, I think he's with Kansas City now, isn't he? I can't believe that.
He might be.
Yeah, he is. I think I remember hearing about that. Before we talk about trades and everything, let's talk about the teams in our division, about our opponents. So let's first talk about, I think we talked a little bit about the Atlanta Braves. Let's talk about the Washington Nationals. How do you feel about the Nationals? They are 1.5 games behind us, and they've been playing very good baseball. They've had a great month of June. So I think they were like 11 games under at one point. Now they're 1 game over 500. So they've been playing very good baseball. Obviously, Dave Martinez is the manager there. They obviously do not have Harper anymore. They have an MVP third baseman, Anthony Rendon. They have a great young outfielder, Soto. How do you feel about the Nationals?
This year, they don't scare me.
I agree. I agree. The only players to watch out for are – yeah, I totally agree with you, man. They've underachieved all year. The players to watch out for are Rendon and Soto. Got 2 guys that absolutely just kill us. And Kurt Suzuki, too. He hurts us, too.
Yeah.
Totally. So, obviously, Max Scherzer is still there. So, the Nationals don't really concern me. Let's go with the New York Mets. What a joke. What a joke. The Mets are a laughing stock. They really are. We're the favorites, so come get us, as the GM put it. Their manager is literally a clown, Mickey Clown away, as I like to call him. He's an absolute clown, saying the F word to reporters in the New York media. He's such an idiot. I just can't believe it's not the way to make friends. I mean, his job is definitely on the line. They obviously have Robinson Cano, not hustling, making excuses. 5 years, 110 left, 20 million a year. I mean, the guy's 36 years old. He's washed up. They bring in Edwin Diaz. He's been a disaster. Bring back Familia. That hasn't worked out. Ramos has not worked out at all. So how do you feel about the Mets?
What do you think the chances of them trading DeGrom is?
They just locked him up, so I don't think the chances are really high. I mean, they could deal him, but I don't think that the chances are high. I don't think that Brody Van Wagenen is ready to give it up just yet.
Yeah, I think he should, though. I think that's the right move.
Yeah, the Mets should have blown it up last year, man. I said that in the offseason. Like, they're making the wrong move going after Cano. Like, they should have blown it up.
Yeah.
I think they have 2 true building blocks there, and that is Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil. 2 guys that they could build their franchise around. But other than that, I think they're not a threat. I mean, they're really not. They're the Mets. Like, that's the Mets for you. Jed Rowley hasn't even played a game for the Mets this year. They just signed him to a 2-year deal. So that whole experiment has been a disaster. Miami. Do we even have to talk about the Miami Marlins? Should we even talk? I'm so concerned about them. They're going to win the division. They come back. Yeah, they're 16.5 out. I'm so scared, dude. Like, I'm literally scared to myself. I'm so scared. All right, so I think we covered all that. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and I'm going to allow you to talk about some of your trade ideas for the trade deadline on July 31st.
I was thinking we could trade for Mad Bum.
Good, yeah.
Because, well, the Diamondbacks 5th in their division. What's 5th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was looking at it last night.
Yeah, the Giants are 37 and 47. Mm-hmm. They're 19 games out of first, so I don't think they're going to really be going anywhere. So,
like, their whole team's old.
Yeah, they should have traded them.
Like, they're all in their 30s.
Yeah,
they're all past their prime.
True. Yeah, they need to blow it up. Totally. Yeah.
So I was looking at guys that we could possibly trade.
Definitely not Alec Bohm, that's for sure.
Whoa, what's happening? What? What did you say?
Definitely not Alec Bohm, that's for sure.
No, we can't trade him.
No,
he's our best prospect.
Yeah. Moniak, by the way, Mickey Moniak, some news. He had a bit of a hamstring problem. He was removed from the game. That was like a big thing. So a lot of people thought he was going to get called up, or some people thought he was traded. It turns out that a hamstring issue was in play. So we're hoping that he's okay. So let's get back to this. So who could we deal? What's a trade we could
do you think they would want Cole Irvin?
I consider that. I mean, I don't really like the Cole Irvin experience. I mean, we're trying to win now. This is a win now mentality with this team.
But I didn't hear anything you said.
I said we're trying to win now. This is a win now mentality with this team. This is not like it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. This is a win now type of mood, I guess you could say, because like it's not time to experiment with new guys. I mean, this is a competitive division. There's no time to have like a loss or anything like that. You don't want to get like losses and try different things out. I mean, that's what things you do at the end of the season. If you already clinched a spot, or you do it if you haven't made the playoffs, or you could do it at the beginning of the season. You do not want to do it during this time when you're trying to make a run for this division lead. You just can't do it. So I definitely think that maybe they should consider trading him. I definitely wouldn't mind that. So I mean, it's a win-now mentality. I mean, that's what the whole move this offseason. But you don't want to be stupid and give away a lot of good prospects that could be good down the line. How do you feel?
I think we could trade Francisco Morales, Spencer Howard.
That'd be tough. That Spencer Howard, I like Spencer Howard. We could do that though. Yeah, I mean, I like Howard. I think Howard
possibly Mickey Moniak.
Possibly, I wouldn't really mind that. Especially, we got some outfield. I think I like our outfield situation right now. I mean, Jay Bruce is not a long-term piece. I mean, Kingery, I don't think he's a long-term answer in the outfield. Obviously, I think he's the long-term answer on this team because he's going to be our infielder.
Oh, you meant in the outfield.
Yeah, he's not going to be a long-term answer in the outfield. Obviously, Harper's locked in there in right field.
I was thinking for future outfield. I was thinking Matt Behrling from Notre Dame. We drafted him last year in the 6th.
I
remember seeing him. I think he's pretty good. His swing's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's
hitting
hopefully he pans out.
343. What?
Hopefully he pans out. I'd love to have him. I've heard of him before. He could pan out. I mean, he's not really highlighted in the Phillies farm system. He's kind of like a dark horse type of guy. Like he doesn't really get a lot of attention. But listen, I think this kid deserves a shot. Yeah, I definitely
343.
Yeah, he's having a good season. He's having a good season. I think that some people just all they focus on is Alec Bohm, which as they should, But I mean, there's other players there too. One guy Both
of them deserve.
Yeah, he does deserve a lot of coverage because he's a very good player. One guy that has been a complete and total disaster is Cornelius Randolph. We selected him in the first round of 2015. He's been an absolute train wreck down there in the minor leagues. So that whole thing with him. I remember when we first drafted him. I remember that. I apologize, guys, if you could hear a phone in the background. That's just bleep that out. Apologize. Anyway, I remember when we drafted him, he was supposed to be really, really good. He's a little guy that, not the answer. So how do you feel about the chances of –
And
what are you going to say?
We could trade Luis Garcia, too, because we just drafted Bryson Scott.
Yeah, Bryson Scott. We have a surplus. We have a surplus of, like, infielders in our – we have Bohm, we have, Garcia, all those guys, like you said, Bryson Scott. We have a surplus.
And we have a lot of average pitchers.
We do. That is true. We need pitching. We really do. Like our pitching.
Notice we have a ton.
That is true. If
Kluber didn't get hurt, I would want him. But
yeah, he's not a very good playoff pitcher. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust to give him the ball. What was that in the playoffs?
What do you mean he's not a good playoff pitcher? Remember,
he struggled. Corey Kluber's, he struggled in the past couple of years with the Indians in the playoffs. I remember 2017, he blew a couple of those games against the Yankees.
In 2017, I think it's fair to call him bad.
Yeah, I mean, he won the Cy Young that year, but in the playoffs he was kind of shaky a little bit. Another guy, Matthew Boyd and Mike Minor. I think our chances of getting Matthew Boyd are pretty good. I just don't think that this organization's going to go after. I just don't know if this organization's going to go full out for Bumgarner. I think our chances of getting Matthew Boyd or someone like that would be from Detroit are pretty good. What do you think about that?
Mike Minor is my favorite guy on the market.
Me too. The price is going to be really, really high for him. But the nice thing is he's not really a rental because his contract's up at the end of next year. We could lock him up, which is, what I like.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about him in the offseason. We almost got him, I think, and I didn't really want him. He's having a great year down there in Texas. So, and I regret saying that. Some people prefer him over Bumgarner, which is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. But, obviously I think Matthew Boyd for Detroit would be a nice
I'm a Bumgarner guy.
Yeah, you seem like one. Yeah, I think you've told me before how much you like Bumgarner, even in the past before we even were connected to him. I know you always have. Yeah.
Remember him in the 2014 World Series?
I do, man. He was a beast.
3 games and went 7 innings in relief. Game 7 on 2 days rest.
He was a beast. I remember that. Yeah, I think he said, I remember him in an interview saying, I just want to, just keep pitching. You keep getting the ball. I'm surprised that Bruce Bochy gave him the ball that much, but he's a very good pitcher during that time. Matthew Boyd has pitched 101 2/3 of an inning. He's allowed 91 hits. He's about 44 runs. And he has a 3.72 ERA. Not bad, not great. But he definitely would help compared to the pitches we have right now. Yeah, definitely. He would definitely look a little bit better. One thing that I think this team needs is a kind of a guy, another extra piece in the bullpen. Who are you looking for?
I haven't really looked at bullpen guys.
Mm-hmm. I haven't really either. I think the starting rotation is the biggest problem. I definitely think the starting rotation.
Yeah, because I want to end the rotation so that if we fix Nola, we'll be good to make a playoff run.
That is true. I
think one starter, like one top-tier starter, helps us than one reliever.
That could change everything. That is true.
Because a great start can go 3 games in a playoff series. like 3 games in a 7-game series, and he can take a 7 innings deep every time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy he wouldn't hurt, that's for sure. I think we're definitely going to be buying at the deadline. For sure. I think another bat off the bench would be good as well.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I would love one of those.
Nice. Yeah, that's why getting rid of Justin Bour was somewhat of a mistake, because he would have been good for that. Yeah, I like Justin Bour. Yeah, so before let's talk about some news around baseball. So obviously yesterday Tyler Skaggs passed away at the age of 27. He was found in his hotel room unconscious on this hotel floor. And we just would like to extend our condolences out to his family and Los Angeles Angels organization. He's in a better place now, and we're deeply saddened to hear about the loss of Tyler Skaggs. How do you feel about that?
He was good.
Yeah, he was really good.
I remember one time he was pitching against the A's. It was like 2 a.m. I was watching it. Trout hits a home run, takes the lead. Then he threw 2 more innings, like 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
Lights out, like 120
Yeah, he had potential. Yeah, he was decent. I think I had him in my MLB The Show game. I traded for him in my rotation. And the thing that really strikes me out is that he was only 27 years old. That's just sad, that he, one thing that really makes me sad was a couple years ago and Jose Fernandez passed away. That was a big loss. So, yeah, I don't think any of us like to see deaths in baseball. It just really makes us sad. And, Jose Fernandez is on track to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, that guy was a stud. He was a Cuban star in Miami. That's a very big deal. Because a lot of Cubans
the best fighter in baseball.
Yeah. And I mean, he was on the boat going to Miami from Cuba, and he dove into the ocean to save his mom. I mean, that was he was such a great guy. It's a shame that he had to go like that, but yeah. So we never like to see any deaths anywhere. We're very, very sad about the whole entire baseball community type thing, and we, like I said, hoping that his family, he was just married. He just got married. And that's the thing that makes me sad. That, his wife just lost her husband. I mean, that's terrible. Definitely makes me sad. So how do you feel about Scott Kingery? He's been fantastic this year. He really struggled last year. So I know you love Scott Kingery. So you're smiling already. So.
He's my favorite player. He's so good. I've been waiting for him to come up for years. Now he's here. So excited. He's awesome. He's the future.
He is.
Trade Cesar for Trout.
Yeah. Well, now that's what we're going to talk about next. So Noah has proposed an idea to possibly trade for Mike Trout. Obviously, the Angels locked him up, paid him a massive contract, $430 million over like 12 years. But strange things happen in this game where sometimes they have to trade guys. Like if you look at the most recent example, it's when the Marlins had to deal Giancarlo Stanton after he signed a 13-year, $325 million extension with the Miami Marlins, and then Derek Jeter traded him off to the New York Yankees. So just because they lock him up doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be there the rest of their career. So Mike Trout, if he stays to the Angels, watch him just go his whole entire career without winning one World Series. I've said that before. So how do you feel about the Angels' chances of trading Trout, even though he's locked up?
So I don't think it's like a good chance yet.
Yeah. It's still very early.
I mean, they're in the AL West. That's a good division.
Very good. Yeah.
Especially with Houston, they're going to be good for a few more years.
I agree.
I think there are 2 ways that we could get him. What if they still want to stay like relevant and good?
Yeah.
So what if their thing is like we could trade? I don't think it is, but just hypothetical.
Yeah.
What if their thing is like we could get worse at one position, center field, where Mike Trout plays, but we could get better at like 5 others.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we could give them 3 relievers.
That's a good point. Like stock them up somewhere else. Yeah.
And Cesar.
Yeah, this is not like the NBA where, if you
one guy changes everything.
one guy can carry the team. And this is a group of 25 men on a roster, and they have to, they all have to work together. So I do not think I do not think the Angels just keep trying every year to be good. They went out this last offseason, traded for, they signed Matt Harvey, signed Justin Bour. They still have Albert Pujols on that team. He's a legend, but he's starting to get old. So, and then the Angels they're just terrible. Like they just every year, like they're just not good. The last time they made the playoffs was in 2014. Mike Trout's only played in the playoffs for 1 year. He's the best player in baseball. He's a generational talent, and he's only appeared in like one playoff series. This is unbelievable. He's that good.
Yeah.
Obviously he's making $430 million over the course of his career. I don't care how much money you're making, but it hurts to lose. I don't care how much money you're making. I'm sure Harper wants to win, obviously.
Like I'm looking at their prospects. They don't really have anyone.
Yeah, their farms they've been like that forever. Their farm system's depleted. Because they did this.
Joe Adele.
Yeah.
Like really, your best guy.
Yeah. What they should have done is they should have blown up and rebuilt. They shouldn't just keep trying to get all these crappy players like Matt Harvey out there. Like they tried it for years. It hasn't worked. So Mike Trout's still relatively young. You could just trade everyone away and keep him as a centerpiece, like a building block for that team, and just build the franchise around him. Like he's a generational talent. That's what they should do. But I don't know. The Angels always seem to do stupid things. So who knows that they're even going to do that.
It's not like they have bad players.
Yeah.
Like Justin Upton, Mike Trout.
Exactly. Justin Upton. I forgot about
Justin Worth, Lucroy,
Jonathan
Shohei Ohtani, Andrelton Simmons.
Exactly. Andrelton Simmons very good. I think their pitching is the pitching is terrible. That's the problem with the Angels. And that's what, obviously, the loss of Tyler Skaggs really hurts. Because now they no longer have him, so that hurts their chances. So, yeah. Before we wrap it up here, let's talk about one last thing. What are the chances that the Phillies win the division? Where do they go? Do they make a playoff? Do you think they're going to make the wild card or come back and win the division against the Atlanta Braves, a very good baseball team?
I think we could jump the Braves. I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy.
Very
good players. Mm-hmm.
But if we sweep them today through Thursday, we could get it done.
Yeah, that'd be a tall task. We're capable of it, and I'm telling you, when the offense is good, it's good. It clicks. Everything seems to click when our offense is good. But I think the biggest thing for this team is everything needs to like I said, just click. Like if Gene Segura, I've said this a lot, when he's good, we're good. If he gets 4 hits, we're really on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how easy it is. I mean, the wild card, we could make a push for that, but I think the biggest thing is to go for this division. But as we speak right now, the Braves have a better farm system than we do. They have younger players. As much as we do not like them, they're a very good baseball team. They're going to be good for a very long time. But the Phillies, do not count them out just yet. We're still very good too. We have good prospects too. So anything could happen in baseball. Crazy things happen. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling out anything. So, yeah.
I have another route.
Mm-hmm.
What if we just give them a bunch of prospects instead of older guys like Cesar? And,
yeah. We don't want to deplete the farm system. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're going to ask for a haul back for him. I think they definitely would ask for guys like Hoskins and Nola. So they would definitely be asking for them.
Do you have no trade clause?
What do you say?
Does he have no trade clause?
Aaron Nola?
Does he have a no trade clause?
I do not think he does.
Harper
does. Trout, he does have a no trade clause, yes. But he'd accept the trade here.
All right.
He'd accept the trade here. I mean, it's his hometown, right? And,
so, he could probably be like, no, I'm not going anywhere else. I'm going to Philly if you want to trade me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I doubt he would do that. He doesn't seem like that type of person, but it's possible.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. So, Noah, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you coming on the Vidcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is not the last time we're going to be doing this. This is we're thinking about, doing this on a, maybe like once a week, twice a week, or, once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week or something like that. So this is not the last time you're going to be seeing Noah on this Vidcast. So Noah, thank you so much for coming on. I am Luke, and you are? Yes. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye-bye.